Hey there, it's Carson from Wandering Dillos. In this video, we're going to share some tips and tricks for repairing your RV day-night shades. So if you're watching this video, your RV may have these day-night blinds. They're very convenient, allow you to control the amount of daylight, give you some privacy, and work as blackout curtains at night. But invariably, these strings that hold it all together will fray and break. So in this video, we'll examine the process of repairing these and giving you some tips and tricks to follow along the way. It's not going to be your typical step-by-step how-to video. There are other videos on the internet that go into great detail on how to do that and are very good. We'll link to those in the description and we'll talk about them later in the video. Again, this is going to be more of the overall process and some of the hints that we can give you. So we've started by removing the entire unit that includes our blind. Fun fact, this is called a lambrequin. So if you're Googling that, the little box around your blinds is a lambrequin. And we took it down just so we could show you how to remove the blind from that surround, because if you've never done it before, it can be a little bit tricky. And you can see here's where ours failed. The string holding up the right side of the blind frayed and broke off. Here's a closer view of the string, and you want to make note of where this fraying occurred. Because more than likely there's a sharp edge there, or it's been rubbing over something that's caused it to fray and fail. Now initially we did look into just buying a replacement blind because these are getting a little worn out. Price will vary obviously depending on the size and the color and the materials. In our case, it was going to be at least $140 plus shipping to get a replacement blind. And we had the challenge with that as well, that it wasn't going to be an exact match for the color. You really can't exactly match a color for a vehicle that's 20 years old and has faded a little bit in the sun. And if we wanted to replace all 5 of these blinds in the unit so that they would match, it was going to be more money than we wanted to spend. So that's when we started looking at repair options. Now, in investigating repair options, we found the company FixMyBlinds.com, and they really had everything that we needed to get this job done, as well as some great videos and other hints. They've got repair guides, things like that. The first thing you do is identify what type of blind you have so that they can take you to the right resources. Once you get to the correct blind, they've got little videos to show you things like how to determine what cord you need, what other parts you might need, and then detailed videos that show you the actual restringing process. And we'll link to that because that was very, very helpful for us in making our repairs. One important thing that you'll need to do is order the correct diameter and color of the cord. Color's pretty easy, they have a wide variety. The diameter, though, there are several options, and again, the website will show you a technique you can use to measure that diameter very accurately so you can make sure that you order the correct material. As far as the tools required, it's pretty simple. In addition to your cord, you'll need a pair of scissors, you'll need a screwdriver for disassembling or removing the blind, and you may need a small slotted or flat-bladed screwdriver to help pry the end caps off of your blind. When we were removing our surround or lambrequin, the plastic brackets that held it up broke, again after 20-some years of baking in the sun. So we were able to find some just metal L brackets at Lowe's, not quite as pretty, but guaranteed not to break. Some other parts you may need and are available from FixMyBlinds.com are the little guides that the string or cord goes through. You'll want to inspect these as you're doing your repair because the cord may have actually worn through one of them, creating a sharp edge, and that may be what actually made your cord fail. So we ordered a a few of these to have on hand just in case we ran into that. In our case, the little plastic spools that you use to tension the cord had also broken. So again, we were able to order those on the website. And our final purchase was this real thin wire that is used to thread the cord through the blinds, and it really is an important tool and a good tip. If you have a thin piece of wire like this laying around, then obviously you could use that. This thing was only 99 cents though, so it was kind of a no-brainer. It's like in the time it takes me to find that wire if I have it laying around, yeah, I'm just going to pay the 99 cents. So I would recommend adding that to your cart if you don't have it readily available, because it is an essential tool that you'll use in the process. Now here we're looking at the back side of our blind. Again, just to show you the hardware that isn't easy to see if you don't remove the surround. So what you'll typically find is two metal clips, and there's no hardware, there's no screws. That top rail of your blind is just going to snap in there. So you'll need to reach up and kind of gently pry that loose from behind, but you're going to look for two of those, one toward each side of your blind. And then down at the bottom of the enclosure, you're going to find your little cord tensioners. So you want to inspect those. In our case, they were broken, so we replaced those as part of our process. So I guess one of the most important tips and things we've learned is make sure you have a big, clear, flat space, preferably a big tabletop at a comfortable working height. Because as you disassemble this thing, it kind of spreads out, and that can be a challenge to work with in a tight space. So a picnic table or something like that would be a good workspace. Now, one of the first steps you're going to do in the process is remove the plastic end caps from the end of your blinds. And the advice I would give you here is just be patient, go slow, and do it very, very gently. Ours had become very brittle and very easy to crack or break, and you don't want that to happen. While you have your blinds apart, it's a good time that you can stretch them out, clean them up a little bit, dust out the cobwebs, treat any stains. The big tip here is, again, make sure you keep everything in the right order and orientation so you don't get it mixed up when you put it back together, like we did. So would highly recommend, and again, this is from experience, is before you disassemble your blind, go ahead and mark all of the pieces. What's the top? What's the middle rail? What's the bottom? When we put ours back together the first time, we had the blackout screen accidentally on the bottom and the privacy screen on the top, which is backwards. So recommend labeling everything so you can keep track of it. Another key tip is how much cord do you need? We screwed this up as well. So they give you a formula, and it's a simple formula. You measure the width, multiply that by 2.5, and then add the height. We had a little miscommunication in our algebra, and so added the height and width and then multiplied that by 2.5 and ended up with way more string than we needed. Fortunately, you can always cut it shorter, but it was kind of a waste of material. So make sure that you understand that formula, and it should get you the right length of cord. The other very valuable resource on the Fix My Blinds website are the stringing diagrams. So for each type of blind, some have 2 cords, some have 3, ours have 4. No matter which scenario, they've got a colored diagram that you can print out, and it will guide you through exactly how to thread the cord through your blinds. Another tip there is in the instructions. They color code the cords to make it easier to follow, and would really recommend taking a marker and marking on the tips, the ends of your cord, so that you don't get them mixed up as you thread them through, because it is a slightly complicated process, and without the colors it would be very easy to get it mixed up. So the end result, once we followed the instructions correctly, we've got functioning blinds that are in the correct orientation. They look great. We saved a ton of money really you can get the materials that you need for under $20. We went ahead and bought a larger spool of material because we figured, we'll be doing this again with the other 4 blinds at some point in time, and just didn't want to pay shipping on it twice. But overall, it's a very inexpensive repair. It seems a little intimidating at first, but really not that bad. So we hope you enjoyed this video and found it useful. This is a project that really anybody can do with the right materials and resources. We'll put links in the description to all of the resources that we've mentioned in the video. Please understand that we don't get compensated. We're not an affiliate. We're not sponsored by Fix My Blinds in any way. We just found that it was a useful resource worth sharing with the community. So y'all take care, and hopefully we'll see you on the road.